23, check, check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like we're live. I'm Glenn, Cedar Valley Fishing Field Team at COAF Field Team on YouTube. And this round, yours truly, well, we're getting a lot of questions, comments, etc. on some upcoming things that are related to trout and whatnot. And so what I want to do is just do a little impromptu let's talk fishing. Let's talk fishing. Average Joe broadcasts, and specifically talking about catching the limited trout and maybe answering any questions that may arise from those that are joining. So we'll give it a little bit while some folks join, and let's see, while that's happening, I'll just give a quick rundown as to what the plan is. So for this live stream, I wanted to just touch base on the upcoming trout stocking season and some of the things that are being done, I guess, that you can do to prep for it. So I'll start out with a quick infographic to just set the stage here. Okay, and what I'm showing here is catching a limited trout. And so here's some suggestions that we give you. Previously, the trout fishing 1, 2, 3 strategy right over here in the upper left is one that we talked about. I think it was a couple of live streams back, or just a live stream the other day. And in there, I just talk about some key things to prepare for step 1, 2, and 3. Well, the next thing is after that, well, how best to actually show this being done out in the field. And so I come up with these 5 steps to limit out. And it's very simple. You got to keep it simple. Observe is step 1. Step 2, what would or what worked before. Step 3, what is different. And then step 4, give them what they want. And then finally, catch your limit. So I'll start explaining more detail there through this video that I put together previously, just demoing that. And then on top of that, we'll talk about some, maybe some by the ways right at the tail end. So let me go and shift over to describing these 5 steps to limit out. So I'll go ahead and kick this off real quick. Team on YouTube. In this round, we're talking about how I was able to limit out the other day, specifically Sunday, over there at Town Lake in McKinney for some trout that they had stocked previously. I had the derby on Saturday, and I was able to fish that day. The pattern was a little bit, well, obviously it was different than the following day on Sunday. So this round I want to tell you what I did, and hopefully maybe learn from our trials and errors, and maybe it might increase your success rate in fishing for trout. All right, so do check out the video. Okay, it's Sunday, February 20, day after the Trout Derby here in McKinney, and we're going to go give it another try. This time we're going to bring the Bait Finesse Systems combo that we used yesterday, along with that inline spinner, the Rooster Tail 1/16 ounce, and hopefully we'll get a fish or two. Step 1, observe. So this round, I'm taking a look at, well, what's out there. I'm fishing, but I'm paying more attention to the action around me. Are there folks catching fish? How the trout are doing? Are they mid-pond, near the bank, near the surface, deep? Can't really tell, but I'm going to watch others and I'm going to see what I can, well, maybe they're using a certain lure, bait, retrieve. Okay, step 2, what worked before? So, hey, let's not break the pattern. Let's not break the luck. Hey, we had some good luck with the casting a Rooster Tail 1/16 ounce gold blade yesterday. Hey, maybe it'll be good again today. So we'll use the same retrieve and we'll see what happens. And in the case of if we don't get any strikes, we'll just make some changes to the retrieve or work it deeper or shallower and just kind of play it by ear. Step 3, what is different? And so while we're there fishing, we're going to check out what is different. In this case, it was warmer temps, trout maybe deeper, a lot more wind, so it could mean something. And well, in this case, it did mean something. More wind, so I need to make some adjustments on that BFS reel when I'm casting into the wind. Very touchy. Step 4, give them what they want. In this case, make some changes with the lures, work the water column, and note any indication of the strike while we're changing those lures. So we start out with that Rooster Tail gold blade, then went to a black blade, black body Rooster Tail. That one worked before over there at Bethany, and well, it didn't work this time, but we went on to a Copper Panther Martin style blade with a trout body and got a little, well, didn't get anything there, but then we went back to the variant of the Firetail Tiger Rooster Tail and actually had a little strike there. And oh, by the way, we finally figured it out with the silver super duper size 502. So after some little changes and whatnot, this is what triggered us to look at this. Watch as the line drops, and then there's a slight tap. All right, we're using a silver super duper. It's the size 502. Got 6-pound test. Got the Shimano Scorpion. Okay, and one thing I want to point out here is this is that bait finesse system style fishing, and I'm using that Shimano bait finesse reel. I'm able to use basically bait casting gear, but I'm casting a 1/16 ounce lure, in this case that super duper. And like I was saying previously, I've gone through rooster tails, I've gone through different various retrieves with those rooster tails, other colors, and that was triggering on step 2 what worked before. So this particular pond, McKinney Lake, or Town Lake up in McKinney, just up the road from us here, over the years I've noticed that the trout were liking inline spinners, specifically the rooster tail, be it a chartreuse or a fire tiger, fire tail variety, and this one was different. I wasn't getting any strikes there, so I switched over to a super duper, and I'd also tried different retrieves. First one being just a steady retrieve where I'm just casting it out, reeling it in, and then the next one I tried was where I did a stop and go retrieve. So I cast it out, reel it in, stop, let it flutter, reel again, let it stop, let it flutter, and then reel again, and that wasn't producing. And then I went to basically a countdown or a sink and go retrieve. So in this case, I cast it out, counted, sorry, counted to about, I think it was like, I started with 4 or 5, and I noticed it was getting close to the bottom or hanging up in some cases, so I upped it another notch, so basically 3, 4, and soon after that I started getting these really light strikes. But if you're looking at the rod that I'm using, it's a fiberglass $25 Bass Pro Shop rod that I like, that has some really nice action, and I was able to pick up visually the strike as well as feeling it while I was reeling it in. In this case, that was that final difference in this case was they were liking rooster tails previous seasons. This round they wanted this super duper. So let me go run the video here real quick. 17 along with that Bass Pro Shop micro light rod, and it's basically a slow retrieve again. Cast it out as far as you can, let it sink, count to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a very slow retrieve. You're basically dragging it on the bottom and they're hitting it just like that. Alrighty, so it looks like it works. That silver super duper 502. Step 5, catch a limit. So at this point we've got the super duper in hand, so let's go ahead and do it. Cast mid pond, count to 4, let the super duper sink, and afterwards retrieve slowly, working that lure near the bottom, and yes, be ready to set that hook. Right, and did y'all see that right after I set the hook, or right before it, you see that? Okay, so let's do it again, but this time, well, let's just show you what not to do. So I've casted it, I got it out there, I'm letting it sink, start that slow retrieve, it's coming in, I'm waiting for that strike, I know it's happening, and oh, by the way, I can sense that I'm going to get a strike. And I'm just kind of working it slowly. I can feel it just kind of moving along, and then there it is. I got him, but need to skip this step. I lost him. Okay, well, let's try it again, and this time yours truly is going to hook up. And bottom line, I hope this video has helped you out and give you an idea of what worked for us. In this case, we ended up switching the pattern out several times so we got an indication of a strike, and then we kind of concentrated on that particular lure. In this case, it was that Super Duper 502. And oh, by the way, that Microlight Bass Pro Shop ultralight rod fiberglass working that Shimano Scorpion 17 has been a really fun one to work on this bait finesse style fishing. So next. Okay, so that was the demo, or at least on how to catch a limited trout.
Just to go over again what I discussed earlier. The 5 steps: observe what worked before, what is different, give them what they want, catch a limit. And so in that video, I went to the local trout derby and I walked up to the pond and I started observing what everyone else was doing, seeing what was working, see if there was a excuse me, particular sorry, a particular lure or technique being used that others were doing well that particular day. And then after that, I just recalled what worked before in the past. In this case, it was rooster tails. And then what is different. So I made some adjustments after doing different retrieves and whatnot. I moved over to a super duper, made some more adjustments there. And what was different? They wanted a super duper. They wanted that countdown or sink and go retrieve. And so that's what I did. I gave them what they want. I found the pattern. And then after that, I just continue on until I got the limit. All right. So just to reinforce what I'm saying here, I did find another video. Let me see if I can move it over here. I did find another video, I think it was later in that season, or I think the next few weeks or so. I went to another pond, and here's another example of yours truly taking that 5-step to catch a limited trout. All right, I'll start it here. Sunday, February 27th, we're over here at Murphy City Complex Pond, over here by City Hall, the police station. Got the BFS Big Finesse style rods, the micro light with the Shimano, as well as the Casking Zephyr with the reel clicker. And we posted that video with the 5 steps to limit out. Well, let's see if those 5 steps work today. We said step 1, let's go and observe things. And what were they hitting on?
They were biting any kind of power bait.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I guess it slowed down a little?
They did.
Oh, okay.
It slowed down on the lure. They're still biting on power bait.
Okay. So if you can see, I'm trying different techniques, different lures, even went to fly fishing, and I finally got the pattern. I got one. So silver super duper 502 with a red head and silver body. I'm doing is I'm casting mid pond or as far as I can in the pond, and then this time I'm counting the 10. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then it's just barely moving it like this, and they're hitting it themselves. They're hooking themselves. And I'm feeling the hit as well, as because I got this real whippy fiberglass rod. I can see it actually take the lure, and it's weird. Sometimes they're hitting it further out, but most of them have been closer up right here.
Okay.
And it's like I'm barely moving it, and I get the hit, and it's weird because I'm thinking I'm snagging bottom or something, but
right.
no.
Okay.
And that's all I'm doing. And then when I don't get one, I just cast it out again.
Okay.
There he goes. Barely moving. How many is that in the bucket?
4.
4? Okay.
Oh, you got another.
There's number 5. All right. All right. Cool beans. Alrighty, so that again is just showing you what the capability is with the 5 steps to limit out. Observe what worked before, what is different, give them what they want, and then catch a limit. And in this case, in the first one, they wanted a countdown 4 and then a slow retrieve. In the second one, this was a deeper or a longer count, 8 to 10, and again that slow retrieve. Past retrieves or past instances, I've used a super duper with a stop and go retrieve with no countdown, as well as just a steady retrieve with no countdown. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Hi, Reese. Is there a casting technique for the whippy fiberglass rod? I can't seem to cast as far when I have a... I'm not sure. Just for some reason, when I'm using that particular rod, and I've used it both with the Cascade Zephyr and the Shimano Scorpion BFSXG, when I have it dialed in, I can cast as hard as I want, and it seems to just flip out there pretty well. I think the main thing that I noticed is I tend to do better when I do a sidearm cast versus an overhead. Maybe might try that one, and then additionally just maybe loosen up your magnetic brake slightly and see if you get a little bit more distance that way. Other than that, I'm not sure. Are you using a similar rod, the fiberglass one also that I have, the one from Bass Pro, or is it a different model? All right. Okay. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. So at this point, I'm just going to open it up to any questions. I know we have the trout stocking that are happening. Over here, we're going to have Bethany Lakes being stocked here this next Thursday, December 8th. And I hope to be able to be going out there. Usually on the first day, I'll most likely go out with some bait finesse or some ultralight spinning gear, just because it gets really busy and casting a fly rod may not be the too good of a thing if there's a lot of folks out there. Let's see. I did notice the following after this, the 8th, so the 15th. I saw some particular areas that I like going to in the past. There's Pottsboro up in Grayson County, just up the road from us, as well as I believe Waterloo is going to get stocked. Let's see, watching you cook and clean would be nice. I think yes, I've done several kitchen cook ones. I'll probably do some more here this upcoming season, or this season. I think. Yeah, I did find a pretty good recipe. I wrote it down in my recipe book here. Let's see if I got it. All right, it's let me shift over here. So I started keeping a fish recipe journal right there, and I think I did this one. I wanted to try something different where I pan fried a filleted trout. These are ones that I caught off the Blue River, and they were bigger than what I caught here in Texas, and I wanted to try something different. And in this case, it's a pan fried filleted trout with garlic butter, and I think I used a garlic butter sauce that I put on top of it and went over some rice pilaf, and that turned out pretty good. So hopefully I'll fill this one up with some more recipes from some trout caught this season. All right. Any other questions, comments? Liking the stuff so far? Where are y'all headed out? Maybe this weekend. Any plans from the team here? Yours truly. We're gonna try hitting the Blue River tomorrow. I think it's supposed to rain later in the day, if not into Sunday. So we're trying to do a quick day trip. Gonna take ultralight spinning gear and bait finesse gear this time, so no fly fishing. And I'm meeting up some other folks on the team up there, as well as some folks over here. So hopefully, and I think from what I last saw on Facebook, they just stocked it yesterday, so it should be pretty good. For those that aren't aware of the Blue River, that's up in Tishomingo, Oklahoma, just a little bit under 2 hours from us here in the Metroplex. Okay, well, thanks for joining. I'm going to go ahead and cut it short, and if you have any other follow-on comments, questions, definitely leave a comment. Let me know, and hopefully we can touch base again. And hey, maybe things will go well on the Blue. Maybe I'll give you a quick rundown on how the Blue went. Maybe Saturday evening, maybe Sunday. Okay? All right. All for now, and thanks for joining. Next time we'll catch y'all. Good luck and good fishing.